So as I said before, a bunch of Xbox stories that we got to go over after the massacre. We'll call that the 2026 Xbox massacre over there, where jobs are being just splattered all over the wall. You know what I'm saying? Developer blood everywhere. All right. In the midst of this, and I incorrectly stated a couple of videos ago how Obsidian didn't get hit. Like, I was questioning how did they manage to escape this kind of fate, and it turns out I was wrong. They not only did they not escape the fate, a few people got fired, and apparently Asha Sharma went in their office with her massive tits, slapped them on the table and said, "Get this Avowed bullshit out of here and get back to making something people want." All right, she said, "Get y'all asses in there and work on a Fallout game." And we got to talk about it, man. If you like videos, listening to niggas roast the video game industry, please subscribe, okay? It's a less buttoned up approach. We like to laugh and have fun and be politically incorrect over here. You know what I'm saying? So like the video, subscribe, and all that good stuff. All right. So as you know, we don't want to rehash the same old thing over and over and over again. Xbox fired everybody. All right. We're expecting 3,200 jobs, and I think it was Jason Schreier that I was listening to the other day who was talking about it's actually more than that, right? Because Xbox is cutting so much of their vendor support. If you know anything about that, it's like outsourcing to other companies to work on certain things. They're cutting a lot of that. So for the vendors and such like that, the third party vendors, a lot of those people are getting fired too. Right? They're getting laid off. So we got Obsidian, right? Obsidian faced layoffs, but the most important thing is that apparently Asha Sharma went into their studio, I suppose, and just flat out told them, like, I heard you guys are working on Avowed 2. Get that garbage out of here. You'll be working on the Fallout game. We can go to this article over here. That is not the right article. I'm gonna be gripped. All right. It says Microsoft's Xbox to shift Obsidian Studio to new Fallout video game. The game maker is also canceling a planned sequel to last year's Avowed. Now, okay. All right. Obsidian Entertainment, a subsidiary of Microsoft's corporation, Xbox has canceled multiple projects and will begin working on a new game in the popular Fallout franchise as part of the division's broader restructuring, according to people familiar with the matter. Okay. So the first thing to notice here is, how the hell did Avowed 2 get greenlit? Please, we all know the game didn't sell well. We know that. It didn't sell well. So what that tells me is that we've speculated about this, like if Phil Spencer was allowing free reign up there, and it's part of the reason why they're just bleeding money. You know what I'm saying? 64 cents on the dollar or whatever it was, Asha Sharma said they were losing. It makes sense now. Why? Because quite frankly, Phil Spencer was just letting anything happen up there. Like, what are we doing? Avowed 2 after nobody wanted it? As a matter of fact, you can look at the response to the game getting canceled. Nobody cares. There's nobody on the internet going, "Oh man, we're not going to get Avowed 2. It was garbage, buns, cheats." Let's continue reading though. Let's continue reading. The video game studio based in Irvine, California, also laid off around a quarter of its workforce. Good. Said the people who asked not to be identified because they were not authorized to speak to the press. As part of the shakeup, Obsidian has canceled a planned sequel to the 2025 role-playing game Avowed, along with other announced projects. Hopefully, they canceled that fucking kiddish ass, what is it, Grounded? Get that shit out of here. Nobody wants to play that bullshit. Under the new plan, studio designer, I'm sure they meant to say, design director Josh Sawyer will lead a new title in the Fallout universe, a series of role-playing games that take place in the alternate history in which the U.S. has been ravaged by nuclear war. The emerging strategy is still in flux, the people said, and could still change. Previously, Sawyer had been directing a role-playing game that was similar structurally and thematically to Fallout, but was not part of the franchise. An Xbox spokesperson declined to comment. Now, obviously, the first initial reaction is to, yes, please put these people to work on something people actually want to play. And I will admit, when I first saw the reveal for Avowed, it looked amazing to me. It looked like a dark first-person role-playing fantasy game. That shit felt amazing. And then when the game came out, it looked like friend slop. It looked like it looked more like Fort Watch bullshit. You know what I'm talking about. For those of you who are new here, oftentimes I talk about the Fort Watchification of the video game industry. That's Fortnite and Overwatch graphics, and they do it to every game nowadays because they're trying to save money. And Fortnite made a lot of money just with not poor graphics, but just like that art style and being able to do the most with the least. You feel me? So everybody wanted to do it. Halo Infinite tried to do it and got roasted. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of other games did it. All right, Redfall. Like, listen, I get it. The games ain't all about graphics, but everybody can't do the Fort Watch graphics. I'm sorry. So anyway, so obviously the initial reaction is to roast them and tell them to get back to work. But what if I told you Obsidian is probably happy to do this? Right? You would be thinking, well, what do you mean? Because apparently, according to some sources, right? I first discovered this from Shitpost Rock. Apparently, according to some people out there, it's now all but confirmed that Todd specifically told Xbox they shouldn't let Obsidian make a new Fallout game when Phil was in charge. Asha said, LOL, no, and Fallout is now also an Obsidian IP. So what? Of course, the reaction there is, well, what are you talking about? Right? That's made up. Well, let's find out. This post comes from Legacy Killer. He says, crazy revelation. Obsidian wanted to make a new Fallout game not long ago, but Bethesda said no. According to New Vegas lead dev Chris Avallone, Josh Sawyer was working on a Fallout project until Bethesda Game Studios got involved and killed it. Sawyer changed the name to something similar to Fallout and was working on that before this week's news. Now under Asha Sharma, Obsidian and Sawyer were given the green light on Fallout. Unclear what happens to the similar Fallout project and if it just gets repurposed back to what it was originally intended to be. Quite clear under Phil Spencer's leadership, Bethesda had far more control over their IP than anyone publicly knew about. Those days are over. And as you can see here on this little on this post, Turd Ferguson says, any hints about this? Previously, Sawyer had been directing a role-playing game that was similar structurally and thematically to Fallout, but was not a part of the franchise. Was that Shadowrun or something else? And then Chris Avallone, who works at Obsidian, says, no, that was different. From what I heard, that was intended to be a Fallout game, but according to sources, Bethesda put the kibosh on that a while ago, so it had to change its direction and tone from Fallout to something similar to Fallout. And there you have it, okay? There you have it. So Todd Howard, who had a great relationship with Phil Spencer, by the way, when he heard about the possibility that Obsidian could be making a Fallout game, Todd Howard likely went to Phil Spencer himself and said, absolutely the fuck not. And of course, Bethesda is going to have way more pull than Obsidian. Why? Because one, let's just keep this shit a bean, right? You paid billions of dollars for Bethesda, right? So you're going to listen to them. And then two, Bethesda just has, I guess, a better reputation. And y'all know me, I'm not that big on Bethesda games, but the simple fact of the matter is everybody else is. The world doesn't revolve around me and what I like. I've tried to get into Fallout a great many of times. I tried Elder Scrolls. The only one that I ever liked was Morrowind. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I just can't. Right? But so this is actually bananas. So one, this is going to create some strife between Bethesda and Obsidian, right? I understand why Todd Howard doesn't want this. It's going to be on multiple levels, right? One, what if they make a horrible game, right? If Obsidian makes a horrible game, it could damage the Fallout brand, right? What if they make an amazing game and overshadow you and make you look bad, right? You never know. So I understand why Todd Howard is doing that, but unfortunately, Needle Dick Phil Spencer is gone, and Big Titty Asha Sharma is there, and she is not playing no games. She is not playing no games. She don't give a damn what Todd Howard is talking about. If Todd Howard don't like it, Todd Howard can kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? but back to Obsidian, right? I got one more thing I want to. They upset with us. Obsidian is upset with us. And if you read this post from right here, Brandon Adler at Obsidian, game director, reacts to people spouting off. He says, "This has been an extremely difficult week at Obsidian. Not only have I had to say goodbye to some amazing game developers, but I've had to say goodbye to some of my best friends. Okay, I truly feel for every one of them. Know that if you are looking to hire one of these former Obsidian devs, you are hiring some of the best people around, both professionally and personally." Yeah, I doubt that, because we played Avowed and we played Grounded. We didn't like it. Anyway, back to what they were saying. Another difficult aspect is having to see a bunch of cold take artists coming out of the woodwork to talk about what Obsidian is or what it isn't. The number of times I've seen people with no understanding of who has worked on our previous games or what they contributed talk about how Obsidian isn't who they used to be is staggering. Most of the time they are not just wrong, but spreading an enormous amount of misinformation. Listen, that's fine. I get it. And thank you for confirming that you watch us. Like, quite literally, we've been saying that. So thank you for confirming that you watch us. But the simple fact of the matter is, the same people, like yeah, sure, maybe you have a couple of people in charge, but the DNA is not the same. You guys are more politically or Jesus Christ, god damn, ideologically captured than you were back during those days. Back during those days, you were more focused on making video games and less focused on making political statements. And likely that has come from leadership that is not the same as it was all those years ago. So you can say whatever you want, but we don't believe you, all right? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. As always, may the good be with you. That's all.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.